You didn't stumble upon this video by chance. Thoth meticulously revealed a profound power of self-healing that precisely eliminates disease, truth they vehemently wish to keep from you. There is an intrinsic cry for help resonating within you, an unnameable yearning that isn't merely physical pain. It's a disorganized frequency within your energetic field, and the very act of hearing these words now signifies that this vital call has finally commenced. Your physical form did not succumb to illness by accident, nor as a form of cosmic retribution. It faltered because it diligently holds on to information that was never truly released. Thoth, with wisdom predating any modern medical advancements, already taught principles that science is only now tentatively beginning to uncover. The undeniable fact that the body profoundly responds to vibration. Where there exists a specific frequency, the potential for healing is unequivocally present. However, this ancient and potent knowledge was deliberately silenced and suppressed. The reason is strikingly simple. If you genuinely grasp what you are about to receive, no entity could ever again profit from your suffering or illness. You are on the precipice of understanding why, despite your best efforts in healthy eating, meditation, and unwavering belief, your body still occasionally falters into sickness. You are about to discover the vibrational code that Thoth unveiled, a precise energetic blueprint capable of dissolving symptoms right at their fundamental root. By the conclusion of this deeply transformative video, you will be gifted with the ritual that authentically activates this inherent self-healing mechanism within you. Do not, under any circumstances, skip ahead. Departing now will prevent the complete activation of your energetic field. This is critical because frequency only responds in the purity of your presence, and this profound activation begins in this very moment. The soul possesses its own sophisticated healing mechanism, yet its delicate operation demands a profound state of silence. Thoth's teachings became utterly unacceptable to the prevailing system because they daringly exposed what had always been painstakingly hidden. Disease in its true essence never initiates within the physical body. It merely culminates there. It represents the final tangible manifestation of an invisible process that commenced long before, unfolding across subtle levels that contemporary science still hesitates to acknowledge, yet which Thoth described with startling precision. Everything we perceive as physical ultimately originates from the invisible. Every visible aspect of our reality is a direct reflection of what has already vibrated into existence within the energetic realms. You intrinsically feel misalignment and disease long before any physical symptoms emerge. You simply were not ever taught to truly notice these subtle cues. Perhaps that persistent exhaustion you routinely dismissed as mere routine was already the genesis of something deeper, a vibrational precursor. That recurrent irritation you so readily learned to normalize, that faint anxiety that consistently surfaces before sleep, or that inexplicable sensation in your chest, a feeling hard to articulate but constant. These are all undeniable signs from your energetic field. They are misaligned vibrations desperately attempting to manifest and communicate in some discernible manner. Yet, you likely did not heed their subtle whispers. Then, inevitably, the body began to scream its message. Thus, declaration, "Everything is mind, the universe is mental," was not merely a philosophical metaphor. He was speaking with absolute literal truth. This is because everything that exists externally first underwent a profound process of internalization within your consciousness. Nothing truly happens outside the sphere of your awareness. Nothing is genuinely external without first having been internalized within your being. And if the mind serves as the absolute origin of everything, then where else could disease possibly be born? The mind transcends mere thought. It is a dynamic field, a vibrant symphony of frequencies. Every vibrational pattern you consciously or even unknowingly emit profoundly shapes the very architecture of your physical body. Imagine your mind as a sophisticated broadcasting source, and your body as its perfectly tuned receiver. What emanates from your energetic field ultimately reaches and influences your flesh. What is persistently repeated invariably materializes. What remains unacknowledged or unheard tragically transforms into pain. This is the fundamental reason why diseases are not, in fact, punishments. They are profound messages. The universe never punishes, it reveals. Disease functions as a complex code, an energetic alert, the body's desperate attempt to translate into matter something the spirit simply could not express in any other way. Every illness carries an intrinsic request to be genuinely heard, a vibrational call that cries out for fundamental realignment, for authentic presence, and for unvarnished truth. The inherent problem lies in our societal conditioning. We were systematically taught to combat the symptom, while completely ignoring its deeper underlying meaning. Inflammation is not solely a biological process. It could signify bottled-up anger, an emotional knot you rigidly refuse to allow expression. A sore throat might precisely indicate an unspoken truth, a powerful declaration you held back. A persistent skin wound could be a violated boundary, a breach in your energetic space. Chronic pain might represent the relentless repetition of an old emotional pattern that was tragically never resolved. But when you mistakenly perceive disease as an enemy, you inadvertently shut down the very channel for true healing. Authentic healing commences when you bravely ask, "What is this trying to show me?" Hearing the answer is rarely easy, as it almost invariably points to something you have diligently avoided feeling for an extended period, a forgiveness deliberately withheld, a crucial choice denied, a profound grief not fully experienced, or a vital truth silenced by the overwhelming need to please others. Yet your body meticulously remembers. Your energetic field flawlessly records. The subtle energy collects and accumulates. And until you genuinely listen to its subtle cues, the pattern will relentlessly repeat until one day the pain escalates sufficiently to compel you to stop. And there, in the crucible of that breakdown, the profound opportunity unfurls. You can persist in fighting against your own body, or you can choose to finally listen to what it has always been trying to communicate. When you truly listen, everything fundamentally transforms. Because suffering is only a necessary experience when the subtle language of your being has been misunderstood. When you acquire the wisdom to interpret the intricate signals of your energetic field, you no longer need to passively await pain to force your evolution. Instead, you begin to enact profound change through conscious awareness, rather than through the catalyst of crisis. Thoth possessed this profound insight and ventured even further. He didn't just articulate where diseases originate, he precisely taught how to dissolve them. However, this sacred knowledge was not freely offered to just anyone, for it could not be accessed or comprehended by the common, linear, analytical mind. It demanded something significantly more, a state of vibrational truth, an internal point of absolute purity, where information ceased to be mere theory and transmuted into authentic transformation. And this is precisely where everything begins to deepen considerably, because Thoth's method was not a mere collection of techniques. It was, instead, a key, a specific frequency, a precise code that only unveiled itself when you were genuinely ready to step beyond the veil of illusion. They are acutely aware that the body possesses an incredible capacity for self-healing, but their fervent desire is that you never truly discover this truth. This pervasive illusion began remarkably early, long before you fully comprehended the nuances of reality. The world had already meticulously taught you what was supposedly not possible, with your mind still in its expansive, formative stages. Your energetic field was completely open and uninhibited, devoid of filters, without blocks, utterly receptive. Until approximately 7 years of age, you existed in a profound state of vibrational hypnosis. Yes, hypnosis. Your brain predominantly operated in theta waves, the identical state induced during deep meditation or therapeutic trance. The crucial distinction was that in that early childhood phase, this receptive state was entirely natural for you. You were operating in a mode of total absorption where every sound you heard became an imprinted code. Every emotion you felt instantaneously transformed into a specific frequency. Everything that was ignored or dismissed became internal energetic noise. Every word uttered in anger, every glance conveying rejection, every unnamed emotion, every instance you were taught that love had to be earned, every moment you felt compelled to adapt merely to be accepted, none of it was ever lost. All of it was meticulously recorded, not by your logical mind, but by your personal energetic field. And it is this field, this intricate, invisible fabric surrounding your body, that still carries countless memories you don't even consciously recall possessing, yet which subtly but powerfully shape every single choice you make. Modern science refers to this as the subconscious, a vast repository of information that governs approximately 95% of your daily actions. However, Thoth gave it a different, more evocative name: your personal Akasha. Your Akasha is akin to a vibrational book of your soul. It does not contain written words, but rather records impressions and frequencies. It does not judge or interpret, simply and objectively records, and everything contained within it is still actively vibrating in your present moment. This explains why, despite engaging in diligent diets, consistent exercise, regular meditation, and various therapies, you might still experience a pervasive feeling that something remains fundamentally amiss. It is because your energetic field is actively operating from deep-seated memories that directly contradict your conscious intentions. You consciously desire health, but your underlying vibration emanates fear. You yearn for abundance, yet you vibrate with inherited scarcity. You wish to be truly seen, but you carry the profound trauma of having felt invisible. Crucially, the field does not respond to what you consciously want. It responds with absolute precision to what you actually vibrate. This presents a profound dilemma, because most individuals diligently attempt to alter their lives through external effort. However, the genuine turning point is always internal, silent, and subtly profound. It resides within this very field, where all the beliefs that are not authentically yours, yet which you tirelessly repeat, are diligently stored. Inherited beliefs, transferred energies, resonant sentences that tragically became your destiny, and the exhilarating truth is that all of it can be reprogrammed. Yes, reprogrammed. But this reprogramming cannot be achieved through empty phrases or superficial techniques. This is because your energetic field does not hear words in the literal sense. It perceives frequencies, and every single frequency possesses a unique code, a specific key, a precise vibration that perfectly resonates with the exact point where the original informational pattern was initially recorded. And it is precisely here that Thoth's teachings once again become dangerous to the established paradigm, because he masterfully discovered how to access that intricate code. Yet, he never delivered it directly or explicitly. He articulated it in fragments through profound metaphors, because he understood that only those who vibrated in true resonance would be able to comprehend its deeper meaning. Because that specific frequency, you do not intellectualize or recognize it with your logical mind. You viscerally feel it within your body, and it is on the verge of manifesting itself within this video. When that powerful frequency begins to manifest within your field, something utterly inevitable occurs. Your body listens. Indeed, your body listens to what your conscious mind may not yet have fully grasped, because it was intricately designed precisely for this purpose: to respond, to adapt, to vibrate like a sophisticated biological antenna, exquisitely sensitive to the subtlest emotions and the invisible commands of your soul. But here lies the most delicate and crucial point. Your body intrinsically knows how to heal itself. It always has. This inherent intelligence was not concocted in laboratories or made dependent on external formulas. It is fundamentally there, exquisitely coded within every single cell from the very genesis of your existence. Akin to a hidden program, merely awaiting the precise signal to activate. And that signal does not emanate from medication or from a diagnosis. It originates from vibrational coherence. The profound problem is that there exists an entire vast industry that profits immensely from the societal forgetting of that inherent program, a colossal structure meticulously built upon the insidious idea that you are inherently fragile, that you perpetually require something external to sustain your functioning, and that you are utterly incapable of comprehending your own body without a designated middleman. This is not a mere theory. It is a pervasive pattern that systematically suppresses true masters, meticulously erases vital records, and ruthlessly ridicules anyone who dares to genuinely remember that life exists far beyond the confines of mere matter. Thoth was undeniably one of these enlightened beings, and like countless others, his profound teachings were deliberately distorted, carefully hidden, or cunningly transmuted into mere legend. They transformed genuine wisdom into baseless superstition, labeling as a myth what should have been diligently studied as cutting-edge vibrational technology. But why? Because if you genuinely grasp that disease possesses a specific frequency, then you will inherently understand that it can be dissolved and transmuted. And if you arrive at that fundamental understanding, you cease to be a hostage. You cease to be a mere consumer, cease desperately searching outside yourself and begin to vibrate from within. This is precisely where one of the most neglected, yet simultaneously most powerful, hermetic laws comes into play: the law of vibration. This profound law unequivocally states the following: nothing is still. Everything vibrates. Everything moves. Everything pulses. This means that even what we conventionally label as disease is not static, not permanent, not something fixed within the body like an inert rock. On the contrary, it vibrates, it pulses, it occupies a certain discernible frequency range. And if everything that vibrates can be meticulously tuned, then it logically follows that everything that becomes sick can be profoundly healed. But here lies the absolute key: not with just any random frequency. It is entirely insufficient to merely repeat canned phrases or mindlessly follow mantras devoid of genuine soul, because the vibration that authentically heals is not merely sound. It is consciously infused. It is the direct result of profound internal alignment, of a presence that transcends the logical mind and reaches the deepest, most fundamental layer of your being. Thoth knew this specific frequency. He named it, but not in the way you might conventionally imagine. He did not describe it as a particular sound or as a numerical value. Instead, he transmitted it in fragments, because he intrinsically understood that only those who were truly ready would possess the capacity to activate it within themselves. And there is a very specific reason for this, because this profound frequency cannot be invoked without a fundamental prerequisite, a crucial prior step, an internal gesture that meticulously opens the channel for this vibration to deeply penetrate your energetic field and thoroughly dissolve whatever has been persistently blocking your inherent self-healing capabilities. Why do the vast majority of people consistently fail when earnestly attempting to heal themselves, even when their conscious desire to do so is profound and genuine? This essential step, the one that tragically few are truly prepared to undertake, does not involve complex technique. It does not involve any specific method. It involves raw courage. Because before any authentic healing truly commences, there is always a breaking point. And that point is the confrontation, a direct confrontation with everything that was systematically pushed to the background, meticulously swept under the rug of your consciousness. Everything you normalized merely to keep functioning. Everything your intricate system learned to hide so it wouldn't seemingly fall apart, yet which never genuinely disappeared. It merely transformed into persistent tension, into chronic pain, into a recurring pattern. You might not even recall the precise moment it originated, but your energetic field remembers with unwavering clarity. Because your field does not forget, it meticulously records every single instance you had to stifle your tears to avoid appearing weak. Every time you deeply felt you were not enough. Every time you rigidly held on to resentment, because it simply wasn't safe to voice your truth. Every unprocessed emotional fragment transforms into a specific frequency, and frequency inherently creates form. That form manifests as an inexplicable tightness in your chest, pervasive and unexplained exhaustion. Illnesses that medical professionals cannot trace back to a definitive cause. But the root cause is undeniably there, vibrantly alive, pulsating deeply within your very presence. Thoth understood this deeply, and that is precisely why he never initiated a healing process by merely attempting to eliminate the symptom. Because the symptom is solely the echo of something deeper. He taught that true internal alchemy commences with the vibrational recognition of the root, and that root is almost invariably emotional. Thoth referred to this critical point as the soul's fold, the intrinsic fold, where consciousness, overwhelmed and unable to bear the intensity of pain, instinctively pulls back fragments of itself, protecting its essence. And it is precisely that fold that relentlessly blocks the natural, life-giving flow of vital energy, the very energy that heals, regenerates, and dissolves. That is why he unequivocally stated, "What you don't transform imprisons you." And the most prevalent prison today does not possess physical walls. It is constructed from unintegrated memories. It's from healings that tragically never materialized because the pain was numbly ignored, superficially over-spiritualized or rationalized far too prematurely. But your body, it does not rationalize. Your body feels. And when something was not genuinely felt and processed, the body will inevitably express it. That is the fundamental code of vibrational self-healing, allowing what was not lived or expressed to be authentically released, embraced with unwavering presence, because presence is the ultimate alchemist, the force that transmutes. And this is precisely where the majority of people falter, not from a lack of technique, but because they desperately wish to alter the effect without ever truly examining the fundamental cause. They yearn to dissolve the symptom without genuinely releasing the memory that meticulously created it. They desire immediate relief without committing to the necessary deep internal dive. And that is why, even with the unprecedented abundance of tools available today, over 99% of people tragically fail to access genuine self-healing, because they consistently bypass the single most crucial step, the vibrational release of the original pain. Without that foundational release, no technique, no matter how advanced, will work for an extended period. The body might momentarily respond, but your energetic field will inevitably recreate the same underlying pattern. That is precisely why Thoth asserted that the first rite of healing was not external, it was profoundly internal. It was a reunion with what was forgotten. And now that you have embarked on this journey and begun to feel it, you are closer than ever to accessing what comes next. It's not that people don't want to heal. It's that they persistently identify with the pain. That is where most people genuinely fail, not from ignorance, not from laziness, but because on some profound, unconscious level, they have spent such an extensive duration in a state of suffering that they no longer genuinely know who they would be without it. It is as though the pain has paradoxically become a safe, familiar place, an identity that, despite its inherent suffering, offers a strange sense of belonging. Because the poor thing who suffers always seems to have someone around, always elicits compassion, always receives validation from external sources. But that validation comes at an immense cost. Because as long as you continue to vibrate within the identity of the victim, there is simply no energetic space for the frequency of true healing to settle in and flourish. Thoth astutely called this a vibrational prison, a state of consciousness that inexorably traps energy in a relentless cycle of repetition, where even if the body inherently desires to heal, the mind stubbornly insists on suffering. Where even if you acquire a new healing technique, your core vibration persistently pulls everything back into the old familiar pattern. It is akin to attempting to plant a seed of healing and diligently watering it with fear, or trying to light a fragile candle in the midst of an inner hurricane. Your energetic field vibrantly responds to what you fundamentally believe yourself to be. If you vibrate with the energy of abandonment, your field inevitably attracts absence. If you vibrate with pervasive fear, your body automatically shifts into a defensive posture. If you vibrate with profound guilt, your vital energy retracts. And the most challenging aspect is that all of this subtly occurs, even when your conscious intention is ostensibly positive. Because it is futile to consciously desire healing if your underlying vibration consistently proclaims that you do not truly deserve it. It is pointless to genuinely wish for change if you still perceive yourself as the identical person you were before. Thoth did not merely teach how to superficially shift emotions. He went directly to the profound route, the energetic identity, because all authentic transformation truly happens when you cease identifying with the old frequency. When you stop perceiving yourself as someone broken, as someone perpetually needy, as someone who depends on something external to feel whole and complete, and you begin to operate from an entirely different place, from the vibration of being. This is not merely a poetic phrase. It is a fundamental vibrational principle. Your energetic field is in constant, dynamic communication with every single cell in your body, and whatever it transmits, your body diligently follows. If you vibrate in presence, your body implicitly understands it is safe to deeply relax. If you vibrate in truth, your body comprehends it is time to release what has been rigidly held back. If you vibrate in self-love, your body grasps that it possesses the inherent capacity to rebuild itself completely. But if you revert to identifying with the old pain, your body will respond with the identical symptoms. The same recurring cycle, the same illness, merely in a new form. That is precisely why so-called spontaneous healings sometimes occur. only to regrettably reappear because the energetic field was not fundamentally realigned, because the identity was not genuinely updated. And this is where the most precious part of Thoth's profound teachings emerges. He stated that while the body meticulously follows the mind itself must be purified by vibration, and only vibration possesses the ultimate power to truly replace an identity. And that is precisely why he meticulously designed a map, not a map drawn on paper, but a vibrational map, a precise sequence of internal states that meticulously reorganize consciousness. That effectively uninstall the archaic subconscious commands, and that create an entirely new energetic place from which to genuinely act, decide, and exist. And the very first step can already be deeply felt: the inaugural self-healing practice. Writing down your new vibrational identity. You are standing at a pivotal turning point, but this turning point absolutely needs to be anchored into your reality. Grab a piece of paper and a pen. Yes, do it right now. Because what is about to come is not merely information. It is a powerful, vibrational command, and your energetic field responds distinctly differently when you commit it to writing than when you merely hear or think about it. Writing is the act of crystallizing intention onto the physical plane. It is unequivocally telling your body, we are taking full control now. Write down these profound words. I am not my pain. I am the field that transcends it. This phrase, deceptively simple and remarkably direct, carries far more than mere words. It is a powerful update code, because every pain requires a corresponding identity to stubbornly remain alive. And what you have just accomplished is to cut off the energetic fuel to that old limiting identity. You have unequivocally separated yourself from the pain you carried. Thoth taught that words are, in essence, condensed vibration. They are potent, energetic commands that actively shape physical reality. When you write something with genuine intention and profound presence, you are directly imprinting a new frequency into your personal, Akasha, your subtle vibrational field. And this goes far beyond a simple positive affirmation. It is a conscious and deliberate reprogramming of your very being. By explicitly declaring this phrase, you are breaking, even if for only a few fleeting seconds, the pervasive narrative that persistently kept your body on high alert, your energetic field in constant contraction, and your mind engaged in self-sabotage. But pay very close attention. This is merely the inception. Your energetic field requires more than just a momentary break from the old patterns. It desperately needs to anchor deeply into the new vibration. And that crucial anchoring only occurs when a new vibration is sustained for a sufficient duration to genuinely become a part of your identity. That is precisely why most people, unfortunately, cannot maintain the positive effect. Because they write it down once, but quickly revert to feeling the same old way, where they connect for a few minutes, but then disconnect for days. That fundamentally breaks the frequency. It is akin to lighting a delicate flame and then immediately suffocating it with the very same stale, heavy air. However, Thoth left us invaluable clues on precisely how to keep that transformative frequency alive. And it was not through empty, repetitive mantras. It was through embodying authentic, living, vibrational states. He profoundly stated that a word devoid of genuine coherence is merely sound. You require something more profound. You require the code. And that code commences vibrating intensely within your body when you activate what he termed the key of true presence. This key manifests only when three crucial centers are in absolute coherence: your thought, your emotion, and your action. That is precisely where we transition into the second, more profound part of this activation. Because now that your energetic field has received the initial command, it is ready for something infinitely greater. And here commences the second. Powerful activation, the vibrational alignment that directly dissolves disease patterns at their fundamental root. For this, we must delve into a code that tragically few have ever been able to truly access. The physical human body typically vibrates within an average range of 62 to 78 megahertz. This is the range generally considered healthy by contemporary vibrational medicine. Below this vital range, various diseases begin to manifest. For instance, cancer vibrates at approximately 42 megahertz, common colds at 58 megahertz, fear at 55 megahertz, and guilt even lower. However, Thoth did not express these truths in mere numbers. He articulated them in states of being. Because a frequency is not simply measured, it is profoundly lived. He asserted that there exists a specific vibration that transmutes into a definitive key when the being truly settles into its essence. And that powerful vibration possesses a sacred name: conscious love. But this is not romantic, idealized, or conditional love. This is love as a pure state of presence. Love that fully recognizes itself as inherently whole, even in the very midst of pain. Love that does not demand instant healing to accept its own inherent worth. That caliber of love generates such an extraordinarily high vibration that your entire energetic field enters a state of profound reorganization. Modern medicine refers to this as homeostasis, the body's intricate and intelligent balance. But Thoth called it divine coherence. And it only manifests when you vibrate identically to how you think and when you act directly from that elevated state. It is not about mindlessly repeating pleasant phrases. It is about genuinely vibrating what you declare. Because when your energetic field senses that your thought, emotion, and action are in perfect alignment, it instinctively knows it is safe to open the channels of profound healing. That is when previously stuck energy begins to beautifully dissolve. Your body deeply relaxes. Information flows freely and unimpeded. Regeneration miraculously occurs. And in that precise moment, your field reactivates. And in reactivating, it magnificently responds with self-healing. But this extraordinary process does not happen by mere chance. There is a very specific vibrational ritual that must be consciously respected, and it is on the verge of beginning now. Thoth's ritual. How to activate self-healing in the body with 3 precise vibrational steps. You do not require elaborate rituals, exotic scented candles, or obscure words in ancient languages. Simply need to be fully present here and now, because genuine self-healing does not manifest in the clamor of external effort, but in the profound silence of truth. The ritual bequeathed by Thoth is remarkably simple, yet absolutely potent. It is not predicated on empty mysticism, but on pure vibration that aligns perfectly with life itself. For it to work effectively, you must be entirely present. Breathe deeply. Feel. The first key is silence. Consciously turn off all internal and external noise. Gently close your eyes. Sit with your spine comfortably straight and breathe with intention for 5 minutes. Do not count the minutes like a mental exercise. Count as if you are lovingly calling your own spirit back into your body. Each breath is a sacred return to the sanctuary you had forgotten you inherently were. The second key is acknowledgement. Speak directly to your body. Yes, out loud. It possesses vibrational memory. Listens intently. Say, "I hear you," and then simply wait. Do not anticipate words, but rather a profound feeling, perhaps. A surge of warmth, a gentle chill, or an emotion that rises without apparent reason. That is your body lovingly communicating you finally came home. The third key is the command. This is the absolute peak moment. It is when you powerfully declare your new vibrational identity with unwavering conviction. I return to my original state. I am healing. Truly does not matter what your mind subsequently tries to tell you. Ignore skeptical thoughts, old judgments, internal voices programmed by fear. Just profoundly feel what those sacred words stir within your energetic field. Because your body responds to what you deeply feel, not to what you doubt. That is the ritual, pure, timeless, and deeply profound. And when executed with genuine intention, it completely reorganizes your internal field. Bioresonance studies have already unequivocally demonstrated that the body profoundly changes its base frequency. When it receives clear commands accompanied by coherent emotion, modern science is now commencing to corroborate what Thoth meticulously taught thousands of years ago in symbolic language, that vibration is the most potent medicine. And he knew it with absolute certainty. That is precisely why he left these invaluable instructions carefully hidden within Hermetic texts. Not as some mystical recipe reserved for a privileged few, but as a sophisticated vibrational technology readily accessible to anyone who is truly ready to receive it. And now that you have journeyed this far, something profound within you has already been irrevocably activated. Because once this sacred information enters your being, it never truly leaves. It vibrates, it echoes, It gently touches the dormant parts of you that were merely awaiting a vital reminder. And that powerful reminder has just occurred. You can no longer pretend you do not know. The code has been unveiled. And if you choose to apply it, even for a mere moment, your field will undoubtedly respond, because vibration recognizes who is ready. And if you felt anything profound stirring within you during this video, it is because your body heard, your soul responded. Healing is not some distant future promise. It is a sacred memory being reactivated within you now. Thoth did not peddle miracles. He taught sovereignty. He illuminated the path back to the absolute point of origin, to the pristine state where disease simply cannot exist because there is no energetic room for it any longer. And now that profound truth rests firmly in your hands. If you genuinely feel that something has shifted within you, then it unequivocally has. And you absolutely do not have to stop here, because a crucial next step has already been meticulously prepared to continue this powerful activation. To continue this vibrational reprogramming together, click on the video now on your screen. This is truly the beginning of everything. If you have made it this far, please do not ignore what you are feeling now. This video was not merely an explanation. It was an activation. Write in the comments below, "I remember my healing." This profoundly anchors the frequency in your field and might just awaken others who read it. If in any way this content touched something deeply inside you, and you wish to help spread more transformative messages like this across the world, please consider subscribing to the Seeds of Akasha channel. Your support vibrates and echoes through this mission, which is truly ours to share.